first thing first, Steubenville. Yesterday, the father of the Steubenville rapist, that's how it's been put in every headline, and I'm just rolling with how the headlines sound, was murdered or was killed yesterday. My bad. The man was not murdered. The man went to the courthouse and tried to murder the judge, and then the judge and the bailiff started shooting back. Yes, you heard me clearly. The judge with the bailiff started shooting back, and they killed the man. Shout out to them. I don't know what the situation is. I literally,
strapped out here.
I understand that, and it wasn't. You know what the thing is? It's not the judge that sent his son to jail. So I'm really curious because apparently the judge that was on the case of his son was brought from out of county. So they're gonna have to explain to me why he thought he was about to go kill this judge if it wasn't for that reason. Even though I don't know if that reason is a good reason, that was the only reason I had. But what I'm interested in is the judge is strapped up. How many judges in Allegheny County are packing, man? Because it's just not something I think about.
Now that you hear about the judge shooting, now you got to think about it.
Yeah. Like, because y'all out here trying to extort people and try to get people to because I know how the city runs, man. Because anytime an FBI informant, anybody finds out there's an FBI informant, they die. Like, it's an immediate death sentence if people find out you were snitching in this city, especially the east side. So I'm more curious now, like, yo, judges is out here holding. They are not about y'all dictating how they judge y'all case.
I think I would be holding if I was a judge too. But I mean, I trust my bailiff. I mean, I guarantee that's your right hand man and the whole nine. But all you got a big ass poncho robe on, I might have a Draco or something. Had a judge with the Draco, take out the whole court. And then so much shit goes down in courts too. It's not like it doesn't.
Oh, those are some of the best videos too.
Yeah,
people get mad in court. Like, yeah, I understand. I completely understand. It was nothing I thought about. It's realistic. It's 2017, but this is something I guess I don't know why I didn't think this was something that was possible because I'm sure judges were holding in the 40s, the 50s. So
they've probably always been holding. It probably has always been an option.
Yeah, you can say that.
I'll say that. I won't say that.
Because we can't go into the courthouse with that stuff.
Period. And it's one of them things you are the person that everybody hates, like in there, like.
You're right. Unless you got a RoboCop, he's the number one subject or suspect. So yeah, like I said, Steubenville, man shot dead after trying to kill the judge, and was shot by the bailiff. Even though the judge was shooting back too, the bailiff got the shot. I'm just like I said, these judges
never had a shootout on night court. Like, sorry,
they were on the
steps.
steps.
Thinking bull shedding. I'm seeing tall ass bull have a shootout. Like,
I think
Marshall Warford.
I'm thinking of Boondock Saints when they bust into court at the end as they start shooting everybody.
See, I never watched. Oh, the movie Boondock.
Yeah, the movie Boondock Saints. Right, that's what I like. Even though they weren't all the way into the courtroom, that's what I imagine when they start shooting in the courtroom.
What was that on state property?
Oh yeah. But yeah, they was at the steps.
That was the worst one. Like, everybody got killed in their crew on that one. Like, that was the kamikaze mission. Like,
I mean, to me, if you by yourself at the courthouse and you start shooting, it's a kamikaze mission.
Yeah.
You was never supposed to leave.
Yeah.
So, because that's the place. That's one of 3 or 4 places on this planet where if you go to shoot,
don't plan on coming out.
Don't plan on coming out unless you John Wick. That's exactly how I put about this. Unless you John Wick, you ain't coming back. And John Wick's a movie character, so that's where I'm at with this. So that's a death sentence. That's like going to Fort Knox. That's like walking into the police station. Oh no, the worst. It's one step away from walking into a gun store and trying to rob a gun store.
Yeah.
And I've heard those stories. The last time I heard about it was it was a jewelry store next to the gun store, and dude ran into the gun store on accident. Let's just say that he never left the gun store. At least not with his soul. So, yeah, that's the only way it gets worse is if you rob a gun store. That's because it's not police, and these people might play with your body after they kill you.
I know. Whole Pulp Fiction basement type.
No, hey man, if you're not a person of the law, and even people in the law fuck around, you have no reason to respect somebody's dead body if you were the one that killed them. And especially after I play video games, and I know video games aren't real, but I see what y'all do to people after you kill them in video games, and it's all about teabagging and shit, and it gets weird. So
shooting the body all the way down the block until it jumps all over the car or some bullshit. Yeah. You know who you are.
The only reason I'm laughing is because, yes, you know who you are, and I can't believe you really just said that.
So I know where he's going. Yeah, he's not going to care about the corpse afterwards.
Right. So, like I said, it's a suicide mission. That's to me, that was a suicide mission. Side note on some lighter things, or I guess, lighter things. The Dominican Republic and Venezuela played in the international bracket of the Little League World Series yesterday. Dominican Republic won on a walk-off triple play. And that's what happens in baseball. The difference is these are kids between the ages of like 10 and 13 years old, and a pitcher had to give that play up. This isn't like the Little League around your place where you still have the coach that underhand throws it to the kids. They have pitchers. A kid pitcher just gave up that run and lost the game.
It's a lot of pressure, lots of bear.
It's on national television, ESPN, all day long. Like they take my favorite shows off to put the Little League World Series on. That's how big it is.
The World Series goes down sometimes.
Yes. And again, they just had the professional teams out there this weekend to play in front of the kids.
And the young boy for the East caught that home run over the fence.
So it's a big deal. So and again, this is not how it is. In team sports, the team loses. But in that moment, as the pitcher, and you give up the run that loses the game, you think you've lost it for your friends, your family, in this weird sense, your country, which is not really the weirdest thing about the Little League World Series for the international bracket, is that you're out here for your country. And I've seen stories about them Central American countries about how and people losing lives and stuff about that. So I worry about that type of stuff on countries that are like third world.
You give up the home run, your family.
Stuff like that has happened. Now it's usually like soccer or cricket.
Yeah, but you couldn't put it past any.
Yeah, I couldn't put it past it. I see it in football all the time. Not here, but I've heard stories
check up on a young man. Let's make sure we see him next week.
Yes. But this was not even where I was trying to go with this. But that's actually a serious thing with these countries.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, he was crying. The team that was winning was celebrating, and this is where my shout out goes to. The coach of the other team got his team to calm down and said, sportsmanship, shake everybody's hand. The coach went over and talked to the boy and tried to calm him down about, like I said.
No, he went in his air and said, you know you're fucked up, right? You know you're fucked up.
But we got to understand in life, especially with these kids, man. Everybody wants these kids to be macho, and you want them to start hustling as soon as they can count. And it's like sometimes you got to be a kid and have fun, and sometimes you have major disappointment. You put these kids on a very large pedestal, which all of them are happy to be there. It's not like these kids are not getting an experience of their lifetime. But when one of these games are close, because that's something I've noticed, since not all Little League World Series games are close. If you're losing by 5 runs and it's the 9th inning,
it's easier to kind of,
Right. So you.
That one was. I mean, there's professional players that would have lost it on that. You've seen baseball, basketball, football.
Oh yeah, we see it in real life all the time.
So yeah.
The difference is we made memes out of these people. I don't think there's any reason to make a meme out of a little kid like this. Right.
That's not right.
Like I'm still seeing pictures of Daniel Cromer crying, flying around, and I don't even think we should have had him on camera crying like that the way we did. So yeah, we got to watch that type of stuff with these kids. Like I said, I think the coach of the other team and the other team handled themselves very gracefully in victory, and that's very important.
A lot of times you get that in Little League, and then you lose it once you go to high school.
Right.
I'm not saying all high schools, like that, but it's like that part of the sport is what you lose.
The older you get.
You get more physical and you get, all those accolades, but then you lose that. It's like, forget that shaking hands shit. Like, we don't need that. We just need you to run the ball or something. And it's just like,
right. Because you're completely right about that. Remember, we've had instances recently where like LeBron and the Heat went off the court without shaking anybody's hands after this. They lost to the Spurs in the finals. Yeah, this is grown ass men getting paid millions of dollars.
Yeah.
All they ask you to do is shake a hand.
Yeah. Because you're setting an example for the younger generation. That part in there, you do not want to shake his hand. I understand that. But again, you're in that position. You want to be a role model sometimes, so you got to be a role model all the time. If you, for those that do. I understand those that don't care about it. And also because I like bringing the stuff up we say off the air. I made a great point off the air. We have videos. We play these videos all the time on ESPN. I love it. But we do it when somebody gets goofy, when managers start cussing people out. We got the one video, the Little League manager. They replay it constantly. I know you know what I'm talking about. When he takes the dugout or he takes the base and he throws it, then he's like takes some dirt and throws it over like a grenade. This man's all over the field crawling and shit. Crawling, behind the stuff.
Yeah. And that kid did not it wasn't a tantrum. It wasn't like he hit the ground and started kicking and screaming. This boy flipped his head around and started crying and pulled one of these while he was crying. I can respect. Like I said, I'm not out here saying to cry. Like I'm not saying cry about everything, but I'm saying
that was what you prepared for all year. That was a cry of like Yeah, that was one of them.
And mattering on what his age is, he might not have a chance to come back.
Yeah.
So
depending on, no telling what the story is. So, and you just want to win.
Yeah.
I mean, what's like you forget that you did go out there to win the game, so it is a defeat in the championship. So that's crying alone. Right?
It wasn't. Oh no, it was like the semifinals.
Semifinals.
Yeah. It was close. Yeah. Like I said, you're one of the like 4 out of the teams that aren't from America. You're like one of the 4 teams left.
Okay.
So, like I said, this is a big deal, and I'm just like I said, I'm happy about it.
Sportsmanship is still important.
Sportsmanship is still important, and to me, it also shows America in our time that these other countries don't have the same issues with being friendly with each other as we do. Mm-hmm. Like anytime, to me, anytime we see somebody that ain't from America, it turns into a competition. Like even in real life, it's like, oh yeah, you're from Poland, America.
Yeah, now you're drinking more beers, like all of a sudden now it's yeah.
So like that's the thing. Like these 2 countries, again, the one coach did say we are Latin brothers in arms. Like even though we're different countries, we're all Latin. We all got to lift each other up, and that might actually help us in our own communities here in America also. So again, it's just a lesson to be learned. Like I said, it's a cool lesson. Again, sports just turns in over time in this bragging, who got this, who got that, stats, which turns into our fantasy football love. But stats, it's nice to see it go back to sportsmanship. Yeah. To, hey, get it another day, shake hands. All that stuff is probably the most important thing in sports, especially that's the thing. Not everybody's out here for these leagues. Not an NBA, NFL. Not everybody's out here for that. To me, especially since I played high school football and didn't make it, and I'm fine with that. I know that high school football changed me as a person. It helps me be able to interact in groups. It helps me be able to let other people take lead, which is a very important thing. I think that's probably the number one thing sports does for people, especially if you are like a single child or the oldest child of a group. You have this mindset that you are the boss, where if you learn that, like, hey, somebody else's opinions matter. This matters. This is all things these group sports show.
Yeah, social. It helps you with a lot of social issues too.
And with that, I'm like, and this is again a prime example. Shit, we just saw LeVar Ball take his son's youth team off the court because he didn't like the calls. That's not what I want kids learning. Yeah. Like you don't quit because the calls might not be going your way. You might have to go talk to the ref after the game. Yeah.
But still be professional while you're there.
Right. Like he pulled LeVar Ball about a month ago got a female referee taken out of a basketball game by Adidas because he didn't like her calls. Then after another referee another male referee kicked him out the game, he took the whole team off the court. Who learns from that?
Yeah.
I'd rather see what just happened in this Dominican Republic Venezuela game than see LeVar Ball turn a kid's basketball game into about me.
Yeah.
So believe me, this is relevant to what's going on in our country. Our country handles things differently.
On a sports note, shout out to I forgot what the cup was called, but the female golf.
Okay.
Yesterday. I actually watched it. Like
that's what's up.
Not one of them or this weekend. It wasn't one of them. I actually watched it because I do like golf. I'm one of them people. You know, I've never golfed in my life. I just like the relaxation of it.
Yeah.
But the competitive side of it, when it was like, all right, America versus who they play? Shit, I can't think of the team. But it was a dope game. So I just want to congratulate them on that.
For sure.
Out there, so we ain't just talking about it.
For sure. Also on the switch over because I really had no idea how to transition off that last topic because it was a very emotional topic to me. But the transition, Duquesne and Pitt may scrimmage soon in football. I don't actually know how that's going to work because Duquesne's football team is like AAA. But
they can still play against each other. I mean, scrimmage.
Yeah, scrimmage. Like I said, there's no way to have a competitive game.
No, it'll help them out a little bit and bring up,
But Pat Narduzzi, and I'm for losing the name of the Duquesne's football coach, which y'all don't know the name either, so don't even get mad at me. Unless you go to Duquesne, you don't know. But they're talking about it, and I like this. Again, this has been a big thing with me in the city's colleges. Duquesne is down to play Robert Morris, Pitt, and Penn State. They try to do this every year. I've rocked with Duquesne for that, and they beat Pitt last year, so it's not like they can't do it. But I think Pitt, Penn State, and West Virginia need to get on that shit. Like I said, Penn State in like 5 years will have a season where they play both West Virginia and Pitt in football. I respect that. But I don't – why has it been 30 years since you've done that?
Yeah, and you're like a tri-state. Like that's y'all –
right.
It should automatically be –
What I understand is Pitt gets 3 out-of-conference games a year because they play in the ACC like in a set schedule with them. But you get 3 out-of-conference games a year. Penn State for sure gets 3, and West Virginia gets 4. So each school at least has 3 games to pick. another college to go find and play whenever they want.
And
now,
they're looking for someone outside of that. Like they should make that their outside game if they're playing in the conference. Like,
the only school that has more obligations is West Virginia, because West Virginia still has rivals with Virginia Tech and Maryland and Marshall, because they're closer to in vicinity to those states. But for Pitt and Penn State, I don't know how y'all can't figure that out. Now, like I said, I do know because there's a trophy for the Virginia Tech West Virginia game. They have an actual trophy.
okay.
So it's still the backyard brawl is more important than rivalry, but like there are other rivalries for West Virginia to care about. So
Panthers versus Lions.
and one other thing, I will snap the fuck out if Pitt schedules Cincinnati. That weak ass trophy y'all had 5 years ago is not worth a damn to me. You remember that? They had like the River Wars because Cincinnati sits on the Ohio River too. Okay. So when they were playing each other, they tried to make a trophy and they called it the River Wars.
What was the trophy?
It was just like a trophy with a glass map of the Ohio River between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati or something
horrible.
Yeah, it was forced. The only trophies worse is there's a Connecticut and South Florida playing the same conference now.
Okay.
South Florida tried to make a trophy for the game, and it's like it's called the conflict. Like that's what they called it because CON is the abbreviation for and FLI is for Florida, so they call it the conflict. So they had the trophy out at the game, and I think Connecticut won the first game, and they just left the trophy on the field. They just left the trophy because it's not a rivalry then.
But what is the trophy? Like, was the trophy butt, or they just didn't care about the game?
They just didn't care because they just tried to make a rivalry out of nothing.
All right, I thought the trophy was something like
no.
I thought you were about to say the trophy.
No, the trophy was a trophy. It was cool.
Okay.
But no, it's the idea that it was not a rivalry, and it was just like we're gonna try to make this a rivalry.
Yeah, we're coming for the championship next year. They're like, you know what, we don't even give a fuck about this. Like, y'all can keep it. Y'all got it. Y'all built it. Y'all paid for it. Keep it. Like, in fact, they're gonna or half of it. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, please, like I said, that's always gonna be like y'all hear me talk about this all the time. We need Pitt, West Virginia, and Penn State to be playing each other regularly. It helps us as a region. To me,
it helps the schools too. I think they have enough alumni, and you know that's a good rivalry. Yeah. Not only for the team, but just for you Pittsburgh, you get to talk shit on Penn State, you talk shit on West B, all that. They got enough people to talk shit back. Like it's perfect.
Also, I feel like the school should understand this, at least for the Penn State aspect. For Heinz Field, we host international soccer games, wrestling events, Taylor Swift concerts, hockey events, high school, all that. The highest attended event ever was a early season Penn State Pittsburgh game, which really had no like ramifications on what happened in college.
It was just the fact that they were playing at that
right.
time. And it showed how many people want to see Pitt versus Penn State.
Right. Highest attended event in Pittsburgh history. But y'all don't want to keep playing y'all show. Like to me, that's giving y'all money. That's money.
Someone must not have wanted it. One of the schools must not agree. I don't see it being the highest event and then no one's capitalizing on that.
I mean, like I said, they still
someone's holding out on.
They still have 3 more years. They got the game in Penn State this year. They're back in Hinesville next year. Then 1 more in Penn State after that. And then they got to figure out what they're doing after that. But they did get the 4 years down. I think that first game proved to them that. Now they're going out to Happy Valley this time. And Happy Valley is even a bigger stadium than Heinz Field.
Yeah, so it should still
right.
Fill up. Like, yeah, they gotta have that. That's just like a no-brainer.
So like to me, it's like as soon as y'all saw it was sold out, I'm surprised y'all didn't come out the next day. Yeah. We're doing this for 10 years
already for the next year. Like we got your season tickets for the rivalry game.
So, and again, that to me is more important than anything. Y'all had the highest attended event in Pittsburgh history. You know how many World Series and hockey championships we host? Not win, but host. Because we have never won a home playoff Stanley Cup game in the hockey team. So yeah, all those games we've hosted, all the Steeler playoff games we've hosted, and that's again. And I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying that should prove to y'all that we need this as a city and as a state. We want
something that's overlooked or takes so long to make it a staple.
Hey, this is something I found out. Down south, this was a long time ago, but down south was about this life. Back in like the 40s and 30s, Auburn and Alabama did not play all the time. It's like a regular rivalry every year now down there. You know what the state of Alabama was going to do? The state of Alabama was going to put in the law they were going to take away state funding from both of the universities that they did not play each other. Like they were going to go into their.
You see the morale. You see what it brings to the city and the state. Like so.
But think about
it. Collegiate. So therefore, now you got kids going to go to school so they can continue the rivalry. And like little shit like that, like that's why those college towns and stuff are so like enrollment is so high, is because you take pride in just going to beat them. Like you don't even care if you go on do whatever.
The rest of the year doesn't matter.
You don't play football no more, but you played for that rivalry, and you're always like
So yeah, like some of the states down south, we're going to take money away from these universities for not playing each other. That's how serious it is to them.
Which makes sense.
That's like government
stuff.
stuff.
You should see Pitt and Penn State play all the time. I don't see Penn State games because like not everybody travels to that. So to be able to see it once a year or
that would make me want to like again. I have never been to Penn State. There's this weird ice cream thing they have up there where I've always wanted to try that. If you have something unique, I'm always wanted to shoot down to your city, try to go home. So I always hear this thing about this ice cream that they'll put in some cryogenic freezer and take back home with you. So like I want to go up to Penn State one day.
Penn State one time. Shout out to Penn State we did our the big pun show there. We did. Well, it was Terror Squad puns was dead, but it was on his birthday.
Okay.
That's when the Remy Ma and all them Cuban Links and all them was there. So that was my only time at Penn State. But it shouldn't be that. You should be going to Penn State since 4 years old to the rivalry game. Like it should automatically
at least one of the two. Like
you should know about that. Yeah. From like it should be one of those things. Because
that's the difference is I have no. Because of how people down in Morgantown act, I don't have a lot of interest in going to see a backyard brawl in Morgantown because it's just that's how I don't understand how the Pitt West Virginia went away because they out here damaging property both because they be doing that shit up in Oakland. They just don't like talking about it. But like they used to fuck shit up about that rivalry. So I will go see a backyard brawl in Hinesfield if we ever get that back.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, I'm not going this year just because it was too late to notice. But if I can get up to Penn State in 2 years, I'm going to try to get up to Penn State in 2 years. I think it's that important to the state.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that should be every year, no brainer. Two big schools in every state should be doing that every year.
Like I said, because I mean, I'm sorry. I know Penn State's been playing Temple the last couple of years. Temple don't matter to most people outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah. Well, I mean, switch it up so then it can matter. You can't keep – it's like them football games or basketball games every Christmas and stuff. Yeah. This is the same team. You start to be like, you know what? The hell with it. But then once you get that other team playing, you're like, all right, this game is a little – like – that's a whole other subject, though. But
all right, switching over to the NBA.
Right into the segue.
Hey, the Philadelphia 76ers will be playing on Christmas for the first time in 17 years.
So you just talked it up. Perfect. Didn't know nothing about it.
Well, because they'd only put the good teams on Christmas games. Well, now because the 76ers have now said they're going to attempt to start winning, and they have a lot of good prospects. They have had like every first or second round pick in the last 5 years. Okay. They will be playing the New York Knicks on Christmas. The Knicks are a separate note. The Knicks are in New York, and they're better than the Nets. So one of the New York teams have to be in on Christmas. It's not even a choice to the NBA. No matter how bad they are, they're not as bad as the Nets. So it will be the Knicks and Philly on Christmas. Is the early game, like the 1 o'clock game. So all the real big games are still going to be late.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see Philly get back to where
that's the game that you get changed because you got to go to your aunt's house for
After Christmas. I think about it, the last time they played on Christmas, AI played on the team. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, I had braids. That was damn. And I'm growing them back, but shit, I ain't had them in years. My damn self. So.
More on the NBA. This was a very small topic to me, but they say the man has bad luck. So I want to bring this up because there's like a legitimate thing where every time they have a picture with a certain musical artist, it seems to go down for your professional sports teams. It seems that LeBron James and Drake have been hanging out. Like there's like a picture of them like a large ass round table thing, almost looking like Jesus at the end type of thing. Like I said, I don't really care, but I'm gonna keep track of this to see how this Cavalier season goes.
You say anytime Drake's around,
Drake and Justin Bieber. That's the two. If you
get down your sports season,
outside of the Floyd Mayweather thing, if you were seen with Drake or Justin,
see now I need Bieber to be around because I don't think. Oh man.
But yeah, if you're pictured with Drake or Justin Bieber, there's like this whole long line of things where things go bad.
Okay.
It just things go downhill after that. I think Kentucky lost the national title like a couple days after.
Serena win?
No, she lost.
She lost when she was messing with Drake.
So yes, there's a thing about Drake being bad luck to sports figures.
Okay.
Also, he's a bandwagon fan. Like aside the fact that whatever I feel about Drake, he's out here taking pictures in all different types of sports gear.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And you're supposed to be the ambassador to the Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto.
Yeah, like they pay you for that. So I mean, he might be sabotaging teams on purpose.
Yeah, maybe they paid him. Yeah, to go take pictures. If you got a curse or a jinx, you're going.
So also remember, with this football season's coming up, don't say anything about the bass god or he'll curse you.
I did. Yeah.
I don't know what to say because he's like the worst rapper I've ever heard. But every time he says you're cursed, it seems to work.
See, he hasn't cursed anybody for this season?
For football, I don't think he's ever cursed anybody in football. It's usually basketball.
Okay. I was going to say I wanted to see if the Brady being on the cover or someone talking bad against him, which one would?
Oh no, we got to wait for Brady to go down. Even though, like I said, I'm not sure if it will happen. First thing, did you see the trailer for the game? Well, his trailer, not the game trailer, but the trailer for Brady being on the cover. The trailer is like a 30 or 40-second trailer of him just doing everything for bad luck, like break the glass, walk under the ladder. He does it all.
Okay.
And he's like, well, let's see about the curse. And that's the end of the trailer. So Tom Brady's...
So they've answered that. They know that it has some sort of jinx talk. So they played that.
Yeah, he went through the whole night. The only thing he didn't do was get the board of Jumanji out and start trying to play that.
Well, that's cool. Hopefully season. Hopefully all that little extra stuff does something in the season. So
you are a cynical person.
Huh?
So you're cynical. To me, as a sports fan, I don't know about Steeler fans, but as a sports fan, if I was a Steeler fan, I would want to meet the Patriots with Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game. To me, it's not solidified. Like this is what y'all been fighting to get past for 10 years.
Yeah.
And the Manning thing, when Manning's retired. So how would it feel if you went to won the Super Bowl, but the Patriots were not a part of it in any way?
What, are you going to asterisk the Super Bowl and say that it wasn't a great Super Bowl because we didn't go through them that year? Like, is that what you're trying to say?
Something like that.
Fuck no, I'm not saying that.
Apparently
some other team will be in their place.
But it's the difference. It's the difference of the Steelers. The Steelers, I would say, Hill has been the Patriots, and again, Peyton Manning until he retired.
Okay.
Were the two people that were the issue of the Steelers.
It would be more justifying to win over them.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be like, damn, this Super Bowl don't feel as good because we didn't beat the, like, I'm not going to do that.
I know, because you still have to play them before the Super Bowl. You never play them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's just.
But I'm saying, like, Tom Brady getting hurt for an entire year, and then the Steelers go out and look like the best team on the planet, but Tom Brady was never part of it.
I don't care. I don't like the Patriots. So it goes back to how we were saying if someone was hurt on, like, I don't care. It's like.
I know, like, I've always looked at it like, if I'm going to beat you, I want you at your best.
Yeah, I mean, I want to beat them, but if we don't, I'm not going to take away from whatever comes.
Well, no, because you were talking about Brady getting hurt. Like that's my thing, is if Brady's hurt and y'all beat the Patriots, it's not a big deal.
No, but we're still winning. I don't care that, like, again, I would love to beat them at their best. We've had times probably where we could have or have, but certain things may happen.
And I'm the same way about the Patriots, because oh yeah, but I'm the same way about the Patriots. Like, they beat the Steelers last year without Bell. That's not the Steelers. Yeah. I like D'Angelo.
So
Williams.
what? So then did they not celebrate as much? Because no, they didn't give a fuck. Like, so I don't care. All right. I probably dance more that year. I'd be happy the whole season rather than just around that time. So I don't know.
Also, for all the people hoping Brady gets hurt, the last time Brady got hurt, the Patriots still went out and won 11 games without him. So just temper that a little bit.
I'm pretty sure they'll find a way to come up with some,
Yeah.
Helium ball or something. They'll come up with something new. No telling with them. It's
a helium ball. That ball ain't ever coming back.
They'll have some way. Don't. Oh no.
Well, some other news.
You never know with them. So whatever.
On the other news, the NFLPA came out today and told players to start preparing and saving money for a 2021 strike. I know it's 2017 and it's a little far off, but there's an issue. There's a reason they're doing this. NFL players want more money, and they want more guaranteed money. The NFL players are also not in the same position as other players in other leagues to strike, because the amount of money they spend, no matter who you are, there's some players that are smart and don't spend any money. But if you're the dude that went out and got your house and your mom a house immediately,
yeah, you need to play your games.
Yeah, a month or two without football games, you're broke.
Yeah,
like I think a lot of people think that after you become a football player, it's a done deal. And also, you got to remember, top 10 players in each position really get paid real money. Let's just put it like that. Like, every position group, the top 10 of those positions.
There's hundreds, damn near. So
let's say there's 11 positions on the regular. I'm not counting kicker and punter, because there's still, no matter how good of a kicker you are, you're not getting paid that much.
You're kicking 100 yards
through the tee,
through the upright. Like, you kicking it 100 yards through.
So yeah, 11 players. Let's say the 10 best. That's 110 players, or 111 or 110 players that are legitimately getting paid money that changes tax brackets and make people do things that they wouldn't do for you otherwise. Yeah. The rest of these players are getting like decent doctor money.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Like decent doctor money. Mm-hmm. And if that doctor stops getting jobs in like a month or two, he's gonna not be able to pay his bills. Yeah. That's where the football players
decent doctor money, but still with that sports purchasing,
Right.
mind state.
Yeah,
so,
you still have the habit that you think you're a baller.
Yeah, you got the 4 cars and all that, but you need to be getting that one nice.
And that's why the NFLPA came out and said, hey, we're going to be able, if you want to strike and you want to make change, we need y'all to be able to strike and not worry about your cash. The NBA had to strike. Most of them players in the NBA, because there's only 10 people on the court, or there's 10 people on the court. Actually, I said that right. But I meant to say there's only about 12 people on a team. 5 starters and the roster, the bench players. The bench players in the NBA probably get paid about this much as they're getting up there in money.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit more time to not play. And the NBA players have the choice when there's a lockout to go play other places. You can go play in another league in America or go across seas. It works.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes you'll get paid, but you have the choice. Hockey has the choice. You can go over to Russia or Europe and play hockey, or even Canada and play hockey when they have a lockout.
Baseball, no? Baseball's like football?
No, but the money they making in baseball, I don't want to hear shit. There's a whole different story to that. Baseball players are like the second highest paid players in the planet outside of soccer players. Soccer players in Europe, not here. I
definitely didn't think you were talking about here. When you even said the word soccer, I wasn't thinking of America.
Say there's people in this city that make more than some of the MLS players. This is where we are. Like, the NFL players that want more money, they're getting tired of. Basically, every year now, the NBA's salary cap gets bigger and bigger, and we see crazier and crazier contracts. And every year when this happens, the NFL players get on Twitter and start bitching like, how this guy get this much money, how this guy gets that much money.
Not in the same fucking sport. Like,
nah, but
this is why shit's crumbling, because you're trying to do this every.
And I talked about this before. No, it's not the same sport. But for NFL and NBA particularly, y'all go to the same clubs, y'all going after the same money. So
my job got to pay me more because I want to go stunt like you stunt at your job. So that's my job's fault.
Well, because no, it's your labor union's fault. The NFL makes more money than the NBA does on your league.
It doesn't matter. If you go into a job and you're getting this check and I get that check, no matter what the 401k union or whatever that is, it's not the job to keep you up stunting. Like, what the fuck?
It is not. In the NFL's case, it's different if it's a 9 to 5. I give you that. But in the NFL's case, if they're making more money every year based on what these players are doing, and you've been lying about CTEs, there has to be some type of annual gain up on the players too, and that's not happening.
Yep. Most jobs get 50 cents to $1 raises. So, I mean...
So 50 cents to a dollar raise.
We're going to jump in football terms. I'm not just going to say 50 cents.
No, but like that's still a lot of money to someone.
I'm put to increase by $5 million every year for this person, 10 for that. Sooner or later, you're going to run out of it. Like, you can't. If you can't just please. Like, and that's what I like. That's the one thing I do like about the Steelers is that you can talk that shit. You can come in office and you can deserve it and all that, but there's a cap to some extent to what they're going to do because that's this job and this company runs this way. You can't let the players tell the company how it's going to run. Like, some companies run wild.
That's what's happening to the NBA right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm saying it can be.
Like the NBA, like at this point, I've never thought I'd be able to say this, but the players run the NBA right now. I'm not even sure how much the coaches are coaching outside of like Greg Popovich.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if the players can run around on all different teams now, you basically running the league.
LeBron James is out here getting 1-year deals every year now.
But you're the greatest player, so if you can't lock your greatest player down in the sport to something.
And that's where we're at in the NBA. The only person that's out here getting long contracts in the NBA is James Harden, and that's because the Rockets are backing up Brinks trucks every other year. Like, he's never finished his contract with Houston.
They're trying to do like how they had Durant at first, or the beginning of his career, when everything was appealing and appeasing to him,
right?
To make sure you stay there, even during some changes. So they stayed for a long time. I mean, doing some stuff. So, but yeah, you can't just keep.
And actually, that's how like most of the rosters on the Warriors are like. Like, I only think Curry is the only guy on the Warriors that has a contract that extends more than 2 years.
See, that's bullshit.
Like Kevin Durant's contract is like player option, where like if he doesn't like it, he can opt out. Again, that's how the NBA runs right now.
Exactly, and then it's going to come to some point where it got to reset, and that's all these things are doing now.
But yeah, like I said, I think we've only had like 3 people in the NFL ever finish a $100 million contract, because Vic didn't finish either of his. Where Mike Conley, who might be the 3rd best player on the Memphis Grizzlies, was the highest paid player in the NBA history some point last year. It's changed since. But for like a month and a half, he was the highest paid player ever in NBA history. And that, like I said, you're right. It's a different sport, different game. But with the NFL players, like I said, the psychology of it is, you go, like I said, y'all do the same shit. Y'all hang out with the same people.
You hang out. You don't do the same shit.
I mean, on the side.
Okay.
I'm not talking about on the court. I'm talking about like
because I eat and I sleep. I should get the same as a doctor because I do the same shit on the side. Like that makes no fucking sense.
But again, this is why they want more money.
It makes no sense though.
To give you that again, I also think that more money also comes from the idea that y'all are lying to us about these concussions for 30 years.
Okay, well then that's a lawsuit. That's a different little thing. That's to get back money or contract changes and stuff like that. But just every couple of years, think that you just need more for doing the same job or winning one.
Well, no. The other thing is the one that when they went on that when the blackout or whatever they had a couple of years ago, we didn't miss games. We almost missed games.
Yeah.
Apparently, and the Steelers were the one team that said no to the contract. Ryan Clark was the guy that was running for the Steelers for the players. The players fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of the fact that they didn't have enough money to live. The players signed a contract that was Roger Goodell. The reason we have all our issues with the NFL right now is not because of Roger Goodell. It's because the players let Roger Goodell have this much power. Everybody's mad because of how much power Roger Goodell has. The players signed up for this because of the last labor agreement because they couldn't figure out – because they were broke. Most of the players were broke by the time they had to come back to the table and they had to sign whatever the owners gave to them. Now we're here. Roger Goodell can give anybody any suspension they want. Y'all out here getting – 15, 20-yard penalties for maybe head-to-head hits. And James Harrison's been fined like $200,000. This is why. It's because of the labor agreement. And this is why the NFLPA is saying, save money. If you want to make change, we need them to know we can miss games. It's really what they want to say. Like, I don't think we're going to miss a lot of games. It might miss 2 games. That's the thing. The owners never think we're going to get to the point where we miss games. As long as we never miss games, the owners aren't really losing that much money.
Yes.
Now, as soon as a game or two is missed, again, especially for a team like the Steelers or Oakland.
Yeah, a Monday night football game or something that you're waiting for. Yeah, let 2 of them go down without a game, and we start finding some other shit to do.
and the other thing is the NFL it's not just a singular television thing. CBS gonna be pissed. Fox gonna be pissed. At this point, Amazon's gonna be pissed because they're playing Thursday night games on Amazon. NFL Network is there. But they have a lot of people to explain this to. There's a lot of time on TV that would have to be made up because of this.
I know beer and food shouldn't go up no more in the fucking stadiums. That's just my standpoint on it. Fuck it. Y'all paying all this damn money. I'm paying $9 for a fucking Budweiser.
This is why I love the transitions we have on this show. Because Malachi helps me transition.
This is what I'll do after it stops.
Now, today there was a lot of talk. Our brother we love, our city across the way, has recently induced a soda tax. I think it's like a 70. Well, not soda. It's a high fructose corn syrup tax. Let's just make it as literal as possible. Sugar. They're taxing sugar in drinks. It's a 7% tax. They said that pop sales in Philadelphia has dropped like a certain amount of percent, but it's also gone up in the neighboring counties. Like all the counties around.
Yeah, because you go outside to get it.
And it comes back.
I'm still fine with that.
I mean, yeah, I'm fine with that. It's not as long as they don't make it illegal like they do with the reservations and cigarettes. It's cool. Yeah. But you get in trouble if you come back with some cigarettes from the reservations.
Oh, yeah, because they got special privileges that they ain't supposed to be sharing out. But no, I definitely.
Well, they're thinking about doing that here.
I'm fine with it. I'm one of the people who don't. I feel like some of the stuff we overindulge in is because of the availability and no control over it.
I know. I tell people all the time.
Something is stop a 5-year-old from going in the fridge and drinking pop early in the fucking morning and all day, and their teeth is looking like, like I hate that. So I'm definitely one for it. Kidney issues, stomach issues, things like that. Like,
my thing is, and it's not pop, but I've had this issue with other things like chips, is I like trail mix. It costs like $4 to buy some trail mix. That's a problem. Where I can go get these Lays for now $1.69, but before it was like $1.
Mm-hmm. So then you double up on that. You the bullshit. Sometimes the tax kind of helps you to regulate. Do you really need this right now?
Yeah. Same thing with like beef jerky. Like beef jerky, used to hate beef jerky. Now I'm coming around because niggas got flavors that are appealing. But it's healthier for you than the regular snack.
Always been a fan of beef jerky.
Beef jerky,
like $45 for
it's like you get one stick. It's like $5. I'm like, oh, you can keep fuck that.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't mind pop. Yeah, we say pop here. I'm not gonna say soda tax. Like one time I say soda is for cream.
I know that because it's the actual name of the tax. I'm
not
out here.
Saying, that's how you know. It's like Cream soda. I was gonna say.
Oh no,
Pop.
We're gonna have
Pop. I'm all for it.
We're gonna have this little side moment. There's only two things I literally, when I'm talking about the drink, there's only two things I call soda: cream soda. And I grew up in the '90s, and I literally thought that orange soda was called orange soda when Kenan and Kel was on. Like that was something that I just correlated the word soda to.
So that just all happened.
Yeah. So like if it's an orange, I do say orange soda. If it's like a generic orange soda, I still say Fanta or Crush if it's that. Okay. But if you had like a generic orange pop, I'm gonna call it orange soda. Like but like I said, that was something that's hardwired. Everything else is pop. I've gotten arguments in other cities.
Just say pop. Just say pop.
But, and again, cream soda is cream
soda.
soda.
The only time that you say soda
because it's part of the
baking soda. Like that's always how Pittsburghers say soda. And it don't be like if someone asks for a soda, that just sounds so fucking weird. Yeah, someone's phone.
Oh yeah, that's my phone, people. But yeah, no, like I said, this is it's an interesting. Like I said, they're talking about doing it in the city. And you gotta understand, I don't know if it's a Philadelphia city or the county, because it's the county of Philadelphia out there too. It's one of those cities that have the same name and county. So we'd have to figure out if it's just going to be a city limit thing, which I hate the city of Pittsburgh because the city limits is fucked in the idea of what the city limits are, or if it's going to be the entire county. And if it's the entire county, I think the same thing's going to happen here.
I don't care if it was the whole country. Me, honestly, like certain things just needs because we overindulge, like I said.
Well, you're going to have to wait about 3.5 years before you get a president that gives a damn about that because Donald Trump don't give a fuck how much we eat.
True. I'm just saying, like, you can go up to the corner store and it's 17 packs of Kool-Aid for $1, 40 different pops at 99 cents. So therefore, all you're drinking is sugar, Kool-Aid, pop, light, and then snacks. So I'm for having variety and options, and a lot of the lower incomes don't. So this.
Oh yeah, no, you know what the biggest one for me is when I went into, it was a couple years ago. They don't sell these no more. But like 2 years ago, I walked up into Walmart and they were selling 1 liter Pepsis and Cokes for $1. Like 1 liter. And I'm just like, you're not giving anybody a choice.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, at some point, you're going to pick your financial health over your physical health.
Yeah. It's like, all right, I got $1. This can of pop 75 cents, or this whole liter is $1. Give me the liter because I'm going to be thirsty later. But now you don't put.
Even though you don't know that pop is making you more thirsty.
Yeah. But now you got a whole fucking liter of it when the water should have been 50 cents. And go get you some bottled water and just be cool.
That water is $1.99.
Yeah, and then but the corn syrup and all that leads to the dentist, that leads to teeth, leads to all these different things, health issues. So I'm definitely for it. If you're gonna pay 7% more to say some shit later on, I'm all for it.
Oh yeah, like I said, that's a definite thing. Like I said, that tax is like I said, it's for sure in Philly. I know they do it in New York too, but everything.
And I'm drinking pop too right now. Just to let y'all know. I did.
All right, the difference between our situation is either we drink pop or we drink straight liquor in here. There ain't nothing else in this studio. So this is if you thirsty, you gotta make a choice. But we're gonna fix that. But no, like I said, think about it, Pittsburgh. It's probably coming. I think Peduto is the type of mayor that might push something like that. It's not, like I said, it's not a big deal to me. It would help me out. I mean, I'm a bigger dude. I mean, I also don't just drink pop. I still drink a lot of sugary stuff. Like I drink a lot of lemonade I shouldn't drink. Like it's more like lemonade or tea.
Save your teeth, people. Save your fucking teeth.
But yeah, those are my muses when it comes. Like I've moved away from pop and I'm on lemonade and tea, and that's not any better. To tea.
But still, it's that high fructose. It's just that it's been already programmed. So to be able to know how to moderate it more at a younger age would give people more opportunity.
Hey, it's something like everybody says schools don't try. I moved to Baldwin around the time where blacker students and students from across the country were coming around, like from Europe and stuff. And we had an issue with the lunches because they give us a prepared lunch and you could get milk or you could get some other things. One of the other things was the drink system. Orange drink, grape drink. Y'all think this is a Dave Chappelle skit. No, these shits are real. Like there was cartons of orange drink, grape drink, and we was buying it like hotcakes. That was all we drank my 3rd grade year, my 4th grade year.
A little white carton, little color of whatever fruit was on the side.
Yeah. We had a fucking assembly about that because the school had figured out that we were buying more of that than milk. And they had an assembly and they had to explain to us that it was not juice. Mm-hmm. I shout out the school for that because I don't think a lot of schools would have fucked up their own money. Yeah. But it's like they had a whole assembly.
It's your job as the school to teach and to regulate. So once the bosses or the leaders aren't regulating, shit gets out of control. So he's about the best ball in the whole net.
So yeah, so like no, like I just want to like I'm just saying the school I went to. I feel like other schools probably had to do this at one point, but schools are like, I do believe that certain schools do try. And if you have to look into what your school's school your child goes to for health stuff, like food, do it. But no, like I said, Baldwin definitely had that moment where, like I said, I was part of it. We didn't know. As a third grader, you see the word orange, grape, anything that's fruit related, you automatically assume that it's probably healthy for you. The only thing that was grape or orange about them drinks was the word grape or orange.
I don't think you assume they're healthy.
You assume that it's something like a juice.
Yeah, you don't assume that it's. Yeah, you just assume it's regular.
Like you assume that there's something healthy in there. There's nothing healthy about what we were drinking. There was not even an inch of calcium in those drinks. And you think like, oh, it's orange, vitamin C. No, it was terrible for you.
I wonder if you could sue. Like the woman that sued Johnson & Johnson. She got ovarian cancer or something.
For what? Did she stick a wiener up her?
No, but the powder is used for external and like just using in that area. But she was saying,
oh, my bad. I had a slow moment. I thought you were like Johnsonville sausage. That's why I was like, did she stick it up there?
Oh, yeah.
My bad. No,
she was saying the talcum and the powder, but it was like since like it wasn't saying like in the last 5 years. Like she's been using it. She was young, all until the age she is. She has cancer and the whole nine. And I think she won 43 million or 4.3 million, like in her suit. I mean, they're going to definitely, argue that. But it was saying like you don't know, you're just assuming. And then 10, 15 years down the line, so you're drinking all these drinks and all that, in school for 12 years, whatever, and then come find out 20 years down the line, that's what kidney failure is. So it's just a lot of.
I know, like I said, everything. Again, I am a chubby dude. I like food. I like stuff that's not good for me. Even saying that, I try to curve my food badness with drinking more water. Like he's been in my spot. I try to keep like a whole case of water in the crate all the time, because I know how because I'm always moving. I've eaten one time today. It was fast food. I've only eaten one time today. That's usually how my day goes.
I had a Swiss roll and like 4 cups of coffee.
And coffee ain't any different than the
Exactly. I didn't say I'm not a victim of this. I'm just saying I understand. I understand that it's not right, but I may have felt victim too long. I've been drinking coffee and pop since like 4.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So let's stop the 4-year-olds from drinking coffee and pop. That's what I'm saying. That's why I agree with it.
Hey, I've tried it with my own child.
Maybe too late.
But yeah, actually, I've tried it so hard with my own child. The only thing Pop, my son, ever really drinks is like Canada Dry, and that's only on like holidays. Like because my mom keeps a whole case of Canada Dry under the bed just in case anybody gets sick.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, that's the automatic medicine. And then it's like one Christmas.
Yeah, she'll pull
Thanksgiving.
Right, and we'll always have if we have a big meal, she'll pull out a couple of cans, put it in the fridge before Christmas, Thanksgiving, or something. And that's really the only time my son gets to touch Pop.
I look at sugar a lot on things now. Like I'll turn pop cans around and tea and everything now. Like I'm one of them. I'm heavy on.
Or the other day I went shopping for my mom. She had foot surgery. She's basically has the same thing on her foot that James got. And she was like, and I have to, because my mom is grandma, she likes buying stuff to have in the house for my son. So I had to go out and do all the shopping. I was sitting in the store looking for real apple juice and couldn't find real apple juice. So I just didn't buy apple juice. Because I kept on reading all this shit on the apple juice and kept on, like, swear to God, apple juice bottles say 100% apple juice and it'll be like, artificial. Yeah. And I'm just like, what the fuck is that? So no, it's definitely an issue here these days. I definitely understand it. But like I said, Pittsburgh is going to try. Pittsburgh as a city has been forcing y'all to try to get healthy. These bike lanes, a lot of to a point. Again, walls, bikes
for a healthier living.
I know. Honest to God, if I didn't live where I live compared to the city, I'd ride bike places.
And then we got like super hill for Pittsburgh to be one of the people to adopt like bikes. For us to be like that, one of the hilliest places too. Like,
so yeah, like that's my thing. Like I live in an area where riding my bike back and forth to work would be the rest of my day. Like my day would be spent riding bikes and going to work. Now, if I lived here, I could cut down like Liberty and just go straight to the city downhill. I could do that. Yeah, but
downtown, something like that, strip district. So
shout out to the gondolas too, man, because I couldn't do that. That was something that shocked me when we started having the bike gondolas hit the city. I was not ready for that.
I'm not riding in one of them. I don't know if ass the whole motherfucker ride like.
So you do the same thing if you got a horse-drawn carriage?
I don't do horse-drawn carriages for one either. Like, that's horrible. I don't even see. I can see if it was like Oregon Trails, fucking 1642 type shit. But if you just voluntarily ride behind a horse ass now, like that's just. I don't see how that's even somewhat.
You have to have a side conversation on what you think is wrong.
Oh, there's a lot wrong with me, people. There is a lot.
I mean, I've only ridden a horse like twice, and that was like school trips.
I rode a horse once. Family get together. My horse seen the stable and took off and it was 3 of me, my aunt, and my brother's horse all took off. So I rode a horse once, and I've been in a horse race once on the same ride.
He called it a
Real
horse
shit.
race.
Like it was the horse said, "Fuck you, just learn how to ride." It was a real ride. So
He
yeah,
said it was a horse race.
And
like
I came second in the race. Just let y'all know.
Did you? Were you on the horse when this horse finished the race?
Yeah, my hat and everything wasn't made.
No. Because I expect.
Oh no, the grip was unreal. It was the first time for a horse. So you're already riding. He's talking to you. Yeah, we went through a couple of little paths. All the horses cooperating, and there was just like a little clearing where they could see that was the way back, and they know it when they get home they can eat, and that's it. The horse said, "Fuck this trip," and the other horse said, "Oh, we rolling," and they just went, "Huh." 3, me, my aunt, and my brother, full speed. I mean, full speed fear, but at the same time, I don't know. I might have fucking tore out some of the horse's mane at this point. Like it was serious. I ain't been on a horse since.
I don't blame you. That sounds traumatizing as fuck.
Man. Yeah, so I don't know.
Hey man, we all got those stories. I don't trust goats. Like we'll have that story another day, but like we all got that one animal we don't fuck with no more. Mine is goats. So like I understand.
But I want to hear about this goat story. I can just see you having stared out with a goat right now for some reason. I
was really young. It's like one of the earliest memories I have. Like it's like 3 or 4, but I have a clear memory of it. Yes.
You said that was it. Like never again.
No. Like even if I take my son to a petting zoo, he's gonna have to deal with the goats by himself.
That's when Dad backs up and he looks over and he's out there by himself. He's like, "Dad, come help me." Sorry, son.
Like,
I just don't got a son. I gotta.
I'm that way about goats, man.
Oh man.
Before we end the show today, like I said, I love that last conversation. Like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed that. We don't get into it. But 2 things. Ribs. Next week, on Thursday, the 31st, Rib Fest is back.
Rib Fest. Oh,
Fest is back.
Shit.
Rib Fest.
We gotta find to go. He's off Thursday too.
I'm gonna be down there Thursday. I should be down there around 3:30 on Thursday of that day. Let's just say.
All right.
So I'll be down there after. All right, so I'm going to bring a plate. I'm bringing a plate to the studio that day.
No, I mean, give us some. What day?
Thursday. Next Thursday.
I'm trying to think we can be mobile.
Hey, figure it out. Like I said, let me put it like this: either I'm gonna be down there, or I'm bringing plates to the studio, and you're going to see me with ribs or whatever while I'm doing the show.
We're definitely having Rib Fest here. I want to hear someone else is bringing them up. We're having Rib Fest here.
So yeah, that's definitely happening. Shout out to Badass Barbecue. They're out here to defend their title as the best barbecue from Rib Fest last year. So they're coming back. There's going to be, what I love about Rib Fest in Pittsburgh is we get everything from everywhere. Because I don't care what y'all think, Pittsburgh is not the barbecue capital of America.
Far from it.
Right. But it gives us an opportunity to get the barbecue capitals of America to come here. Kansas City, Texas, North Carolina, those places that have legitimate, Memphis, those places, Nashville. Like we're going to get those people. You're going to get to try some stuff that's amazing. Like to me, Pittsburgh is a Greek food city, like low-key Greek and Italian food city. Because my love of gyros comes from that. So
gyros.
We on
stories, man. Like we needed just a straight therapy couch.
What it says on the Facebook page. This is barbershop talk. Okay. This is what we have topics and we're supposed to just round around the table with it. We are here with this, like I said.
No, not gyro, dude.
But
I've tasted gyro meat like once, but
real gyro meat or like carnival gyro meat. There's a difference. It's about how it's cooked.
Okay, now how
it's supposed to be on that spindle thing.
Yeah, it was on a stick.
Okay.
It was just spinning, and it was a fly around. It was like holy moly. So I never fucked with the meat just being out like that, spinning on the stick again in my life. That's just me. But I'm getting off air.
Oh no! I understand. You get like again. When you have an issue, you give real answers. Sometimes somebody's like, I don't like something, or they're just like, I don't like it. You have like in-depth reasons on why I don't fuck with this.
But once it happens, that's it. It's a wrap.
So no, I rock with that. Like I said, that's fine with me. Like I said, but no, like I said, Rib Fest Thursday, 31st, down on Art Rooney Ave in front of to the side of Hyattsville. It could be the front. We don't know what the front door of Hyattsville is, but it's gonna be out there. They're gonna be blocking off the street. It's gonna be, like I said, in between Hyattsville and Stage AE. There'll be vendors. If you aren't into ribs or something like that, there'll be fries and all that shit there.
Cool. I'm not a barbecue guy.
I only want one. Like I don't understand the people that go to each truck and try everything. You gotta either have the name or have the awards next to your truck that say you won shit before.
And that's it. Once you get your rack or have a rack,
because again, like I used to be the human garbage disposal as a kid. Like I used to be able to just eat and eat from like the age of like 10 to like 18. Somewhere like just after I graduated high school, I got to that point where like I can only eat this much. Not because I'm big, just because now I'm at that point where like I get overly stuffed and you get that feeling.
Yeah, now you're down for the day and you don't feel, so you try to keep it right to where you can actually function.
Right. Well, before like 15.
So you ain't trying to be all comatose and out.
Yeah. Like 15, I could eat all day. As long as I didn't get punched in the stomach, I could do whatever I needed to do the rest of the day. You know what I mean? That's anybody. You eat, it's over. But yeah, I could do anything.
Punch people in the stomach. Not that they're eating.
So yeah, that's the only but now it's just like, no, like I feel old when it comes to eating. That's like the only part of my life I feel old about is eating. Because like, well, I just know I can't eat like I used to. Yeah, that's how you know I was a fat kid at heart. Like I was like, I could not eat.
Just put it. He's not old. He's sulking already. And he got years to go. But it's like
I just figured out like I can't be ordering big ass portions. When it comes to food, I had to tap out early. I can't eat. I cannot eat like I used to. Like I used to be able I used to have a family member that like was like a bench warmer on the in the NFL, like full blown bench, but he played in the NFL, but he like built like that. Yeah. I out ate him one day at like Denny's. I was like 16 years old. Like we were actually eating against each other, trying to out eat. And I know the amount of carbs and shit that football players eat. They're purposely eating like this. I'm not. I'm just out here, a 16-year-old kid, like, oh, I'm about to out eat a football player. I did that once. I'd never be able to do that now.
Just send you to the desert on a fast so you can come back your regular self.
Oh no, I'm way skinnier than I was back in like middle school. Like I'm the heaviest weight I've ever been, but like in body frame, this is the good. Like you can ask my friends. I used to be rolling. You could roll me down the street back in middle school. So, but before we end the day, the last topic, the weird things that happen on our lives on a daily basis. So, yesterday, after I specifically told y'all it's a race. Be cool. Don't go wild. Let the other people make themselves look like jackasses. What happens? A guy with the comb over haircut, which Malachi informed me does have a little bit of a Hitler look to it. Still, to me, as long as you ain't balled up with swastikas on you, you need to leave these people alone until they fully come up to you and say the N-word to your face. But saying that, man with like the swoosh haircut, I just have to say that because it says that in the article that he looked like a Nazi, and I'm like,
he look more like the Adam Levine haircut.
Yeah, Abercrombie and Fitch model, shit like that. Just look like a regular white dude. Again, it's profiling, and it's profiling. When I assume that somebody looks like they might be a racist, or if they might not be a racist. Anybody can be racist.
Well, she profiled on this one.
Yeah, that's the thing. But to get to the story, the man was stabbed while waiting for his milkshake in a line because he looked like a Nazi in somebody else's mind. How is this any different than George Zimmerman following Trayvon Martin down the street because he had a hoodie on? Just think about that. Because that was the first thing I thought of. I'm like, you just thought because
he's ordering a milkshake.
Trayvon has some Skittles. Like I said, that's
what I'm saying. Like, no, I'm just saying, like, where was the fear? Like, I don't see where you didn't have time to decide if he was or not because he was approaching too fast. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't one of them. It was like you said, oh, he looks like a Nazi. I feel like stabbing somebody today. I'm gonna stab him. So I mean, you're fighting the fight doing the same thing.
And in all honesty, they're probably not going to do this because I don't think there's ever been a hate crime charged against an African-American person. But that's low-key a hate crime.
What you just said is about to change the game because it will happen. And then that's going to stop a lot of protests back. Like, don't put it past, especially this administration, too.
Again, if you just stab somebody because you assume they were neo-Nazi.
That's the definition of a hate crime. Okay. Like, I'm not saying it has to go for all black, but that right there, hands down.
And again, that's why I keep on telling you, like, y'all want rules just to help us. And we do need more rules to get things back into a level playing field. But if y'all start going rogue, and I feel like it feels weird being the person that says this because I had a full-blown argument. Like, I have ruined a friendship like 2 years ago on the opposite side on this argument.
And you just said something yesterday that was opposite of this a little bit. But
well, no, like I said, I still think we need to stand up and be vocal. Yeah. But I don't think we need to be out here just killing people. This is not anarchy. This is not Armageddon.
You just shake someone waiting for a milkshake. And like the story wasn't even enough to like.
Oh no, I read the rest of the story. Like you remember how yesterday's story had a full background and shit was. This is not that deep of a story.
It couldn't be. You're waiting for a fucking milkshake. Like I can see you standing there eating with the swastikas on your head and stuff like that. I understand that you can still you can see this person as a Nazi or whatever. You see his beliefs there. Still, you stabbing him is not justified.
It's not justified, but I can see the snap. I can see like you get on the line, and you're like, oh, this is motherfucker. Doesn't like me. Thinks my life is worth less than his. I can see you talking yourself into it if you can see it.
But then again, it still opens that door. Anybody can talk to themselves and use that as a...
But again, you talked yourself into it because he was just white. And he had I think it wasn't even a flannel. It was like a blue checker shirt. It wasn't like the red thick flannel. He had like a blue dress shirt that had checker pattern on it.
So that's what I'm saying. So you just showed a high level of ignorance.
Yes.
In the fight of ignorance. Like that's just.
And again, that's a big thing. Like no matter how, like I said, I know what you're saying because I said I'd rather be Malcolm than Martin, just because I'm at the point where I'm tired of being peaceful about certain things.
But again, it's still with the opposition that you know is coming at you. Like, you're not like. I'm not
like again. I have no interest in going. I'm not like what I used to call them, the freedom fighters, or whatever. I'm not one of them dudes that's trying to go down south to try to help niggas go vote. Like I could not be that dude. I'm not the guy that's like we're gonna round up a bus and go out to DC and protest out front of the White House. I would like to live my life to the fullest of its abilities with the world we live in. Saying that, I mean, yeah, you can't just be out here stabbing people. You can't.
It's not going to be the answer. It's not.
The only way violence would be the answer if there was like full-blown groups of people fighting. One person stabbing another person is just going to make things worse. Like the closest thing we ever got to a positive violent outcome with a black community was the riots in LA. And that's because everybody saw it. And it didn't really end positively. It was just the idea that like we were willing to do whatever we could to get justice because of what happened to Rodney King, because all that stuff was acquitted. Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying that was positive. I'm just saying, think about how bad things had to be in LA for us to even get TV coverage and to get a voice in what happened in the 90s there. Now think what you got to do in 2017. You might have to destroy a town. I'm not saying destroy a town, but that's how much you would probably have to do to get the U.S. government to physically think about changing some shit. And you still need to wait to do that for about 3.5 years. Because you do that now, they're just going to wipe out a town for black people.
And that's what you're going to see in Chicago. I still see that.
Trump said it.
I still see Chicago being a martial law experiment coming up soon. So that's why I'm just not for advocating or throwing fuel on this fire, because it's not just the race thing. It's in my eyes, to justify what's going to go on later on. And again, I've been through race things. Like, it's not someone just standing on the side of being secluded and like, hold on. Did the whole, like I said, my elementary school was in Squirrel Hill. And my high school was in Squirrel Hill. And we had the same thing during the OJ trial in Squirrel Hill. So we went through disagreement, people coming there, a big race issue. But after that winked out, it was like the greatest 2 years that we had left. I mean, I think it happened like my junior year, senior year. But after you got those people out of there on both sides, it was cool. So there's a point of this all being cool. It's just the wrong people and the wrong tactics.
Oh yeah, because what kills the country is I think we were making a little bit of progress, not great progress. The one thing I hate about our country, especially the African American community, Obama almost changed nothing when it came to the situation we're talking about. Saying that, he at least gave us the wiggle room to have push and give, like things could be figured out on our own. You know where our current president stands at this. He's gonna let whatever happens, and he's just gonna be like, we all need to play along together. That's it. So I would just tread lightly for the next 3.5 years. I keep on saying 3.5 years, because if y'all vote this nigga in twice, I'm gonna have to start doing this show from a different country. Like, I thought the 8 years of Bush was bad, and I couldn't vote at that point. If we get 8 years of Trump, I've lost all hope in this country. So,
that's a long 8 years.
But, you know, guys, like I said, that story was man getting stabbed because he looked like a neo-Nazi, even though in the rest of America's eyes, he probably didn't look like a neo-Nazi. Come back in tomorrow. Again, 21 Savage is a... 21, Isa. Damn, I really thought I had it right that time. All right, 21 Savage, Isa, and Dizzy Wright, The Golden Age 2. So we will be on those tomorrow here, Grandma Worldwide Radio, 5 o'clock. Hopefully James will be here. Like I said, he had some car troubles. I might try to get him to do an Instagram live to explain to y'all what might have happened to him today.
James needs a whole 5 minutes to just sit and talk to the people.
Oh, if you would have heard him on the phone. Believe me, when James comes back, he's going to vent a little bit about whatever happened. But like I said, we'll be back tomorrow, grandmaworldwideradio.com. Again, get me on JSkyline99 on Instagram, and on if you want to find the person on Facebook, you can find it at GMWW Radio on Twitter and Instagram, and go look up the Android app on GM Worldwide Radio on Android, Google Play. Remember, we're always working. There's always music. Come back tomorrow. The Detour Show will be bright and early tomorrow morning. Just listen to some music through the night. Have fun.